Hey ladies and gentlemen, Krzysztof the Polish Geek, and welcome to another movie review. And this is a review of an animated DreamWorks movie, Kung Fu Panda 4. It's technically going to be out on March the 8th, but I got a chance to see the early screening, and I have to say, I was really underwhelmed by the movie. In fact, I'm going to say, not only it's one of those movies that you question, like, why do we need this, but I have to say, it's actually a pretty bad movie. Like, I'm not the type of guy that actually thinks that fourth movie in the franchise will always inherently be bad. Like, look at Pirates of the Caribbean. I actually think On Stranger Tides and Dead Men Tell No Tales are very underrated. Yeah, I already talked about how much I love all five movies in the franchise, and even then, I'm very much in the minority here, even though I love all five movies. And Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes also looks really good, and I'm pretty positive about it. And Toy Story 4 wasn't bad, but again, it was admittedly one of those movies that you often feel like, why does it need to exist when the first three movies were perfect and they never really needed a sequel? So I thought that, on one hand, why do we need Kung Fu Panda 4, but on the other hand, maybe it will be decent, especially that I actually thought trailers and all didn't look bad, but overall I was very disappointed with the movie and I didn't like it. Like, the first whole part is like that, the whole premise is just stupid, and obviously they have no idea for premise, because the whole premise is that Po now holds the staff of Master Oogway, and he has to find a successor. Like, why? Like, Master Oogway, it took him a long time to find a successor, and even then it was after his death. Like, why now Po already needs to find a successor? Like, he's only been this for like few months, few years at most. Like, why does he already, and he's pretty young still. Like, why does he already need a successor? Like, it's pretty obvious to me that this is literally nothing more than just to come up with some sort of a story. And then, of course, that's something we already knew, but we admittedly already knew it from the trailers and what the cast and the director were all saying. But yes, that's right, the Furious 5 almost make no appearance outside of a small cameo. I mean, I knew that they were going to have a very minor role, but like, this is like, but they literally just show up at the end at the credits, and like, what the hell? Like, I really miss them. I thought they were cool characters. Like, obviously, I didn't expect much of them, but they still could have made at least a little more appearance. Still, really, the lack of Furious 5 is really one of the smallest problems with the movie. But then there is this new character, the squirrel that Po befriends, and then they embark on a journey to defeat the chameleon, the new main villain, who is also a pretty terrible main villain. Like, all the previous villains in the series, like Tai Lung, Lord Shen, and General Kai, they were all actually pretty interesting and compelling villains, but the chameleon is just like a pretty generic, I wanna rule the world type. And then, theoretically, that's another thing that's not really a spoiler, because we've also seen all the previews and all. She manages to get the power to turn into all the other villains, and then apparently she says she's more powerful than all of them, because she basically is all of them. But it's basically like more like tell but not really show, like, because other than just like being able to turn into all the previous villains, she's just like, as I said, she's so generic. She's just a fairly like, I wanna rule the world type, and yeah, she's like probably one of the worst DreamWorks villains I ever seen. Theoretically, she's supposed to be the most powerful, but honestly, I didn't see or feel it any at all. Like, I actually felt far more tension with Tai Lung, Lord Shen, and General Kai from the previous three movies, because not only they actually felt far more of a threat, they also had actual interesting backstories and were very nicely tied into the story, as opposed to just like, I want to rule the world. And then there is also this and returning to that squirrel also. There is actually a twist that I admit I didn't actually predict relating to her halfway through the movie, and I'll give a credit to that. That twist wasn't bad, but then after that twist, her character arc also becomes fairly predictable and pretty boring. And don't get me started of all the stupid cameos of previous villains from previous movies. I mean, that's another thing everyone knew was going to happen, and but then again, those cameos didn't really enhance the story. It felt more like, oh look, it's this guy, yada yada. And this is all a real shame, because I actually really like the first three Kung Fu Panda movies. I think they are some of DreamWorks' better works, but this one, I wish it was never made, because it's kind of insulting to all the first three movies, and even then, why do we need this? And it's also a shame too, because the animation is very good and the voice acting is good and all. And as I said, it also takes place in a world that I'm kind of interested in, because I really like the first three movies, but overall, Kung Fu Panda 4 is really bad, and I was so disappointed in this movie. Again, I didn't expect the movie to be particularly great, but I didn't expect to be so disappointed, so yep, I don't recommend Kung Fu Panda 4. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for checking out this video. Press the like button, please subscribe to this channel, and I will talk to you soon in another video. Talk to you later. Bye.